The Lost Souls of Paris. Every year, the city of Paris receives more than 82 million visitors and tourists that travel to France in an effort to capture that perfect romantic getaway they always desired to experience. Seen as a city of love, Paris is a hotspot for newlyweds, lasting couples, those looking to find someone in their lives, and even those that wish to travel alone and experience the city. However, Paris is much more than just a city of love and holds a darker past and a more haunted nature. Underneath the city of love are long tunnels and catacombs known as the Catacombs of Paris, and if you are looking to travel there someday, then it is important for you to understand this darker past. As the city grew, so did its natural death toll. Due to this and a few other reasons, it was decided that the city would build massive tunnels and rooms carved out from underneath the city. It's estimated that the bones of roughly 6 million people are stored down in the catacombs, which is a number that continues to grow as new rooms, tunnels, and areas are continually discovered each day in the underground cemetery. The sheer size of the catacombs are another matter entirely. What many people do not understand, even including those who have helped to map out the tunnels in the past, is the vastness of the tunnel systems, carved out rooms and layers of floors that continue in all directions. So far, estimates place the tunnels themselves to stretch for over 200 miles. This has led many people who enter the tunnels without proper equipment or experience to become lost in the vastness of the catacombs, and has even extended to the most experienced travelers to have to turn around in fear of becoming lost in the complex and disorientating sizes and distances the tunnels and rooms provide. Definitely one of the most well-known facts of the Catacombs of Paris has to be the strange reports of creatures sighted in the deeper tunnels of the underground rooms. There are many times when explorers report eerie noises, such as strange footsteps following them or echoing throughout the tunnels, but uncovering nothing, along with the noises that sound similar to whispering or breathing around them. What is even more interesting about this phenomenon is that many explorers report seeing humanoid-like creatures quickly scurrying around corners or stare at them from the ends of long tunnels with only the reflection of their eyes being noticeable. As more and more rooms and layers are uncovered that stretch further down into the catacombs, more reports and witness accounts of these strange sightings occur as well. The strange case of Don Decker. Probably one of the most compelling cases of a haunting known to man in the modern age is the mysterious case of Don Decker. Don Decker was temporarily released from jail and was granted furlough to attend his grandfather's funeral, a terrible man that had raised him from a very young age. Attending the funeral, Don Decker visited the Kiefer family, who were old friends of Mr. Decker, who offered him a night stay at their house and to drive him back to jail in the morning. As Mr. Decker went into the bathroom to wash his hands in the Kiefer residence, a strange hypnotic trance came over him as he quickly fell into a zombie-like state and collapsed onto the floor. He woke up a few minutes later and went back downstairs, where one of the Kiefer family members became worried and asked him what had happened after noticing several deep cuts on Mr. Decker's wrists. As Mr. Decker began telling the Kiefer family what had happened, and of a strange vision he had of his grandfather sitting on a throne and wearing a crown, he fell back into this strange trance and fell to the floor again. This time, however, unexplainable events began to happen. Water began dripping from the roof and walls where no water pipes existed. The Kiefer family immediately called a plumber, believing the house to be flooding, and when a plumber came, he could not find any source of pipes or water of any kind. Things became more strange as water began coming up from the floor and flying upwards like a reversed rain. At this point, the Kiefer residents called the police in a panic to attempt to explain what was happening. As the police arrived, they were baffled at what was happening and immediately told the family to leave the house as they would begin to investigate. As the Kiefer residents carried Don Decker from their house, the water stopped dripping and it appeared the flooding had stopped. The police and the plumber noticed this coincidence and believed that perhaps one of the members of the family was responsible for the action. The Kiefer family went to a nearby pizzeria after being instructed to leave the house and brought along Don Decker, who was still in his zombie-like trance. While at the pizzeria, water began dripping again from the roof and the walls, and the strange phenomenon appeared to follow them. The pizza store owner, claiming to be able to sense an evil presence in Don Decker, grabbed her crucifix and pressed it against him, which caused his flesh to begin burning. The pizzeria owner then told the family they had to leave and claimed that Mr. Decker was possessed by evil. Officer Richard Walbert attempted to cover up the entire incident as he refused to believe that the event was anything more than an elaborate prank. The other accompanying officers, however, filed reports and regarded the incident as supernatural. When Dondecker was taken back to jail, many different guards, officers, and even the warden had witnessed this strange water phenomenon in his cells, along with neighbouring inmates and visitors. Demi Lovato ghost. Renowned singer Demi Lovato is a firm believer in ghosts. She revealed that in an episode of The Mac at Night show in 2011. The former Disney Channel star revealed that she saw a ghost when she was 8 years old. A couple of years later, in an interview with BuzzFeed, she revealed that her house was ridiculously haunted, and while growing up, she saw a ghost of a little girl named Emily on a number of occasions. Demi Lovato further said that when she was 3 years old, her mother once caught her talking to herself. When her mother asked who she was talking to, she replied that she was talking to her best friend Emily. Demi Lovato described Emily as very playful. In one of her detailed interviews, Demi Lovato revealed that while growing up, losing things like belts and socks and then finding them again at their usual places was a norm in their house. She said that a couple of times her dad lost his belt, and after looking all over the house, they could not find it. However, when they returned to her dad's room, it was perfectly laid on the bed. She described another incident and revealed that one day she, along with her mum and dad, was watching TV and they saw someone coming down from the stairs and then going into the kitchen. Her dad thought it was her older sister. He called her and asked if she could grab him a glass of Kool-Aid, but no one replied. Her dad got kind of angry. However, a few moments later they were shocked to see her older sister Dallas coming down from upstairs. In the same interview, she quoted another incident and told that one night before sleeping she got up to close her closet door. As she was about to shut the door, she saw a little girl who was dressed in clothing that seemed to belong to the 17th or 18th century. Demi Lovato said that she froze for a second and then ran to her sister's room. Her sister asked why her face was so white and what had happened. She told her sister that she had seen a ghost in her closet. Demi Lovato has talked about her haunted house and her ghost experiences on a number of other occasions as well. On some occasions, she has talked about the ghost of a girl named Victoria. Greyfriars Kirkyard and the Mackenzie poltergeist. During the 17th century, there was a number of executions held at Greyfriars Kirkyard when the king at the time was attempting to convert many followers of the Christian faith to the newly founded state religion, of which led to a large number of rebel Presbyterian Covenanters soon becoming the centre of martyrdom and being taken to the site to be violently executed and silenced completely. Without much surprise, this has led to the Greyfriars Kirkyard being referenced by paranormal researchers as one of the most documented and reported haunted locations in the world. Though many hold the belief that the site remains to be the centre of a number of paranormal entities, many of them being among the 18,000 victims executed during the 17th century. Others claim that the main entity behind the hauntings to be that of Sir George Mackenzie, the one man single-handedly responsible for the suffering of the victims and their torture. Proof of this claim comes from the fact that the first reported attacks from a paranormal entity came back in 1998, shortly after a homeless man, wanting to find shelter during a storm, opened the tomb to Sir George Mackenzie. The first attack took place the following day after the tomb was broken into when a passer-by attempted to enter the tomb but was blasted back by a cold force of air that knocked them down. Later that day, another woman was found near the tomb's entrance, passed out and lying across the front of the tomb with her neck completely covered in bruises that made it appear as if someone had choked her. When she came back to consciousness shortly after, she told those concerned that she was walking by the tomb and found that she couldn't breathe, slowly losing consciousness shortly after. Since this day back in 1998, there have been more than 500 reported violent attacks near the tomb and throughout the Greyfriars Kirkyard, with an untold many more left unreported for fear of being ridiculed. The Bay Point Lighthouse. Located on the north shore of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, the Bay Point Lighthouse has similar origins when it comes to the cause of its hauntings. Back in 1896, when the lighthouse was first constructed and opened to begin its duty of warning those of the dangers of its foggy shores, built on top of a 60-foot rock mountainside that falls into the lake beneath it, a man by the name of William Pryor became the station's inaugural keeper. He supposedly disappeared and was believed by many to have fallen into the choppy waters after an especially foggy night and thunderous storm. Interestingly enough, the location is now operating as a romantic bed and breakfast with fireplaces and spa services to match, but the current innkeeper is not at all happy about the rumours spreading. Linda Gamble has done a variety of exorcism techniques to help guests feel more at home after many years of reporting slamming cabinets, doors, apparitions appearing, and a few of the residents being attacked by a strange ghostly figure. It appears, however, that these attempts have been fruitless, as many still report the haunting of the lighthouse to this day.